Sometimes a split-second decision can change the outcome of a situation. And that's what a Good Samaritan from Nebraska did when he jumped in to help a police officer in trouble. It was a moment the young man had been unknowingly training for ever since he was a kid. CBS News correspondent Cynthia Bowers has details in today's American Hero.
With 6 boys in the household, there's always a ready-made team on hand. But Chris Hermanson was on his own last November when he met the toughest opponent of his life. It happened at a gas station convenience store in Omaha late one night.
So the clerk alerts you that there's something going on.
Right.
Several feet away, Hermanson saw a suspect wrestling on the ground with a police officer.
And I yelled out, do you need help? And he said, yes, he's going for my gun. So I ran out and came out here.
So you didn't think for a split second, do I want to do this, or did you just run?
No, the officer was on top, and all 4 hands were over here by the gun.
The gun went flying when Hermanson grabbed the suspect's arm and, after a vicious struggle, pinned the man down.
And that's when I put him in the barbed wire and held him there. And
the barbed wire is a wrestling move that's second nature to this 21-year-old Good Samaritan, because during his high school years, Chris Hermanson was a 4-time national wrestling champion. We asked him to demonstrate the barbed wire on his brother.
What you do is you take your forearm and you put it across their face right here, and you reach for this tricep back here. And then all I did was I just held him right here.
Like all 5 of his brothers, Hermanson began wrestling about the time most kids are learning to tie their shoes.
Well, this is the first one that I won. I got this the first match I ever wrestled when I was 4 years old. It's from 1989.
He grew to be a powerhouse on the mat, a solid 5'7", 200 pounds. Even so, his mother was stunned when he told her that it helped police arrest a wanted man.
First reaction was a lot of pride. I'm like, oh my gosh. It's just, then you start thinking, what could have really happened?
That thought shook Pam Whited when she realized that even before her son's encounter, she'd seen the suspect on the news.
Then I was like, are you crazy? What would you think?
Yeah, I don't think there's any doubt that if he'd have got the gun, he would have shot all of us.
Omaha police had been searching for Leroy Roberts Jr., a convicted killer and suspect in a series of robberies and sexual assaults, including the rape of an 83-year-old woman. Police say this surveillance tape shows Roberts during an attack on a store clerk in Bellevue, Nebraska, where he allegedly hit the young woman in the head with the claw of a hammer.
These crimes were escalating in violence and frequency. We sort of referred to him as the Osama bin Laden, as our way of saying he's our #1 wanted at the moment.
He had been released from prison in 2001 after serving time for beating a man to death. With Roberts now charged with robbery, sexual assault, and attempted murder, Omaha police sent a letter of commendation to Chris Hermanson, who came between a suspect and a gun.
2 people stood aside while Mr. Hermanson jumped right in, and that sort of indicates he's an exceptional individual.
What do you do for an encore?
Get up and go to work.
And be a good role model for his brothers.
So are you proud of Chris?
Oh, yeah. I went to school the next day, and everyone was like, yeah, I seen your brother, he stopped a robbery. And I was like, yeah, it's great.
And it's another victory for a champion who proved himself when it mattered most. For The Early Show, Cynthia Bowers, CBS News, Valley, Nebraska.
Wow. The suspect, Leroy Roberts, remains behind bars awaiting trial. He has pleaded not guilty to all of the charges against him.